You see the people that are putting in the work, and they're following the right steps and strategies, and they've been doing that for a little while, and all of a sudden they get their deal.
Oh yeah.
And then that next person, they get their deal. And it's just, it's celebrating with people.
Hey, Tom here, FlipAnything USA. So coming over to see, I got my son with me, Ryan, and we're gonna take a look at my student, Chris. He's really done extremely well. Everybody in the class is familiar with Chris. One of my earliest students, the very first course I started, and Chris has just been a knockout performer. Really success stories. 5th or 7th deal or something like that now.
This is probably, it's funny because when we talk now and you ask me that question, I'm actually starting to lose count. Like I have to go back and count all my HUDs and see where I'm at. But this is probably 7 or 8 between raw land, mobile homes, houses, doing a little bit of everything, whatever makes sense, right? Yeah. Whatever the best deal is.
Yeah, and they keep getting better and bigger profits.
But you've been an incredible inspiration. The mentorship has been phenomenal.
It's the best thing I ever did!
Under your mentoring and watching you and learning from you, and then me dipping my toe in the water and then kind of putting a whole foot in the water, and I said, I'm going to dive in, and I quit my job and I went all in, and now I'm doing this kind of stuff, and I love it.
And so, but anyhow, this is his latest deal.
Yeah, and I've been working on this for probably 6 weeks.
Yeah,
and I'm done.
Yeah,
so
no, it's cool, and I know this neighborhood really well. See, it's a beautiful property. It was a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
3-bed, 2-bath, probably about 1,700 square feet. I took some notes. I kept you in mind in what you teach us in the mentorship. I took some of that to heart, definitely, whenever I was doing the remodel, the flip, and getting it ready for the market.
This is really a cool problem. You're starting to get rich people problems. It's really a unique time that I've experienced many downturns in the last 42 years, but this is a unique downturn. You've got interest rates going up and inflation is still going up. A real mess to buy. Money's more expensive. But this is the thing you learn in my mentorship. You keep your rules for making money. Your standard is very high. He's going to make 80 to 100 grand on this for sure. The property previous to this, he made 80 grand. Property previous to that, about 30.
Yeah.
And then he's made more before that, but he's been able to roll those successfully, one into another. He's been able to defer the taxes. And so you're sitting in a house here basically that he damn near paid cash for the whole thing from profits. From 220 of the 298 he got in this place.
Yeah.
He doesn't have but $60,000 out of his own pocket. And this is a $2,400, $2,200 a month rental, right?
I actually have an applicant right now that I'm vetting, and might get $2,400.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I know this neighborhood well. I bought like 13 houses in this neighborhood. There's nothing better than the deal that he got right here. This is the kind of deal I love to have. This is a house that's been updated 10 years ago, and it just needs a little cleaning up.
It needs some love. If it fits, we can throw some before pictures on there. We can kind of show them what it kind of looked like before. Yeah, we did recessed lighting throughout, and Tom, you introduced us to this kind of lighting where it's really easy plug and play.
It's like a pancake.
Yeah.
It fits within it's thinner than the drywall. Yeah. So you can put it over a stud, you can put your lights anywhere. Right. Looks great, I love it. You can put dimmers on these too if you didn't know that.
They're on dimmers.
Oh, perfect.
They're on dimmers, and this room here, it didn't even have any lighting, and so it was pretty dark. And so you just want to lighten things up. I actually went with, it had old texture in the other part of the house, and so we got like 45 boxes of mud on the wall and then retextured everything to make it all look the same.
Yeah, he had that it's a horrible texture. But
they use a nap roller for that?
I mean, it looks basically like somebody textured it by rubbing
with their hand.
With their hand.
Yes.
Okay. So you just got to fill it. And that's what they do.
And I think what I learned on this one, Tom, is when you think about different flips, different projects, different houses, and I know that you're working on one right now that I kind of steered away from. Like, that's way too much for me to get into. But at the end of the day, if you can look past the old and see the new, whether it's in piss poor condition or decent condition, putting up a wall is putting up a wall.
Yeah.
Retexturing is retexturing.
And you can see this is an addition we're sitting on. Basically, this was the back of the house.
Yeah, yeah.
And so this is a common thing when houses are 1,300 or so square feet. People need bigger homes, and they push out. And this particular subdivision is one that actually has very, very large lots, and so people have been able to do this. Other people enclosed garages. And look, he's got a beautiful carport out here, giant sliding glass doors, and 8 to 10 feet.
Yeah, that's a big one.
This is a big one.
This is a really nice place to hang out outside, covered, barbecue.
Like I said, you've got a place to barbecue. You can sit out here in the rain, have a drink, and you've got a nice shed.
Yeah, nice storage shed.
All these things, and you've got a decent sized lot, even as big as the house is on it.
Yeah. What's nice about this neighborhood is there's no HOA. And so with no HOA, this is really appealing for the person that owns their own business, like an electric company, a plumbing company, anything like that. But with a big driveway, a tenant could park their boat or their RV or a couple of cars, whatever.
For those who don't know, HOA, Homeowners Association, and a lot of the newer tracks will have that. And there's good and bad about it. They'll keep standards up, keeping junk off the streets and that sort of thing. But at the same time, in a working class neighborhood, that's what this is. There's some HOAs. If you're a plumber, you can't have your truck in the driveway and stuff like that. But we're turning into an age where people are working from home, and we've got Zoom and everything else now. It's a big house in a good neighborhood, and like I said, it's not so restricted. There's a rule we have once said, most restrictive restriction, and he doesn't have those.
So back here we've got bedrooms, bathrooms. Again, I felt like I hit a home run with this one because all of this was already here when I bought the house.
Yeah, look at that.
But I did put in new countertops, new sinks in both bathrooms, new fixtures. I moved some lights around because they were really weird. The cabinets are nice. I just didn't want to replace them all, so I just replaced the hardware.
I'm a cabinet maker by trade, and these are about as plain a cabinets as you can get. But, they're birch, they're nice, they're stained. Yeah, they probably built these on site. As long as people didn't abuse the property, it's great. It looks great. You've got nice little lights in here. Fan light in every room. You've got to remember it's a business, and when you go in, you can't make it like you make it for yourself. It's a business decision. You think about, what? It's a working cabinet. It's a working cabinet.
You can't get emotional, right?
Everything you do, the little knobs, everything ties in. Looks really, really good, Chris. Are you going to put a mirror up here?
Yeah, I'm going to put one more mirror here. And then, even something like this was a really simple update to make it feel more modern.
Yeah. This is really, really nice.
Do you want to...
It's attractive, right?
Purchase price was $298. $9,000 for drywall texture paint. Countertops and sinks were $2,500. Electrical was $5,000. That was running some new lines, switches, all that. And then I redid all the outlets, fixtures, blinds, fans are going to be another $2,500. Appliances were $900.
Yeah, and so let's look at the appliances but he's got a good look, and you probably bought this one, didn't you?
That came with the house.
Oh, it was already there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. But he replaced this stove. He got a decent fridge. This is a big enough kitchen. I've got a thing with
Counter depth.
I always get counter depth fridges, but they cost $2,000. So.
I know,
But you don't need it here. You did good. You can, if the kitchen's a little bit tight, man, just get a counter depth fridge, and it just looks so cool and sleek. It makes the kitchen look bigger too. But they don't hold hardly.
And I found a new appliance store I like.
They hope so.
They operate out of a storage unit. The roof, water heater, and AC are all new within the past 5 years.
Yeah, because we had a hailstorm come through, so most of the roofs are brand new around here because of that.
I think there's a fine line, just like what we're talking about with the hinges. You can't get emotional, but pay attention to the details. It's going to pay you.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
no, you didn't go too far.
For those that are watching, my thought process on this though is I want to hold on to this one.
Yeah.
Right?
So let's talk about the issue he has. It's kind of tough to find something to buy. When you keep deferring, whatever you sell, you have to spend more than that.
Right.
Which can be difficult.
It can be.
And see, he's starting to have rich people problems. It's really cool. And so he made a great tactical decision. He's bought this property. Basically, you paid cash for it, right?
Yeah, paid cash.
He paid cash, but 220 of the 298,000 that he put in this, or the 320, because he had some, was 220 was deferred.
Profit.
was deferred profits from the previous deals, and then the rest is the cash from his other sale that was not, deferred. So he's sitting in this place, and his predicament is this: if he sells it, he's got to go find something to buy for more than this. But he found something to buy that's less than this, that he's going to make another 80 grand on. So that's going to put him up to 300 grand this year. So what did he do? He shopped the money.
Yeah. I'm going to pull. So the reason why I'm doing it, and I'd like your thoughts on this, but if I pull out the value of the home, or let's just say 400,000, 75%. So I get 290 cash back to me. So I'm almost getting back what I've got into the house, right?
And he doesn't have to pay tax on it. This is the key thing. He's going to pull the equity out with having to sell the asset, but he's got the money to play with again.
Principal, interest, taxes, and insurance comes out to about $2,400 a month.
Yeah.
And so now we have a break-even deal as far as the renter covering the mortgage.
Right. But see, what he's doing is he's only doing that because he's already got another property tied up to buy that he knows he's going to make 80 grand on.
That's right.
Otherwise, he wouldn't have done it, right?
No.
And we had to talk about this, and I think borrow the money when you need it, right?
Yeah.
And that's kind of, but he got the deal so quick. It just happened to happen just all at once.
Yeah.
And that's what I would tell anybody. Listen, don't borrow the money before you need it. You can get a HELOC, a revolving line of credit. It doesn't have to be in your home. It can be, just a revolving line of credit, which are getting probably tougher to get right now.
I talked with my CPA, and we talked a lot about the tax strategies around this one, as far as depreciation, bonus depreciation, all of that kind of stuff, like long term. What we kind of played out some different scenarios, and so I really like where I'm at with it.
Yeah, because I just do the math, and so he basically has thrown himself into a position where he's got to pay $21,000 a year interest on the money that he's about to borrow, and so take that times 4, that's $84,000. He's going to make $80,000 on the property that he just bought. So basically, that 80 grand already pays for the interest on the borrowed money that he's going to use as a tool. The money's a tool. That's how you got to kind of look at it. You got to pay. It costs money to operate. Right. But I got no criticism. I think he did a good job.
And it's hard, getting back to the emotional or personal side of things. I'd love to roll money forever, but I gotta pay the family. I gotta put food on the table, kind of thing. And so, my wife and I, we've talked about what about a pool, or hey, a nicer car, and it always comes back to, I'm like, right now, I'm just gonna try to grow my capital and grow my business and just keep getting the portfolio.
Yeah, listen, your wallet getting thick and your bank account getting fat and your equity growing. I mean, that is like a swimming pool. You just close your eyes and you feel good. I always tell everybody, right? You want to feel good. Don't worry about looking good. Yeah. Worry about feeling good, because that's that makes you feel good. It's security.
And I will say, if you are willing to put in the work that it takes, and if you are willing to look for the deals, and you're willing to really, follow the plan, follow the strategy, do what Tom says, look at other people in the class and their success, it happens. It happens. And the first time that you make a deal, honestly, I was like, well, I think I got lucky with this one.
That's the
second time, I was like, hey, I think Tom's onto something. Like you can actually do this. And then the third, fourth, and fifth, I basically said, I told my wife, I said, hey, I think I found what I want to do the rest of my life.
Oh, absolutely.
I told somebody the other day, they asked me, they said, hey, so is money, now that you've gone over real estate, is the money good? I said, well, money's great. I said, but honestly, what I love even more is my time. Freedom. I have freedom to do whatever I want, whenever I want. So.
Yeah. No, I tell you, I've been blessed. I got into real estate at 19 years old, and the only regret I have is that I found my first deal when I started my cabinet business, or 2 years after I started my cabinet business, is that I should have dumped the cabinet business probably a year or about 10 years earlier. I was only in business 9 years before I was kind of retired from it, but I just wish I would have dumped the business a little earlier. It's been a great trip. And here's the best thing, guys like this can learn from my mistakes, my path, my 42-year path. I give you a read, I tell you everything I know, everything I can to help, I help. And the results is like this.
Yeah, and if you're at all considering getting into the real estate game, being an investor, learning how to flip houses, how do you secure a loan, what's involved in that, and not just Tom. Yeah. Tom alone is amazing. But when you get a whole cohort around you where you're learning from other people that are doing similar deals as well, I would say that at any given time in our class, someone always has a deal in escrow.
So we've got a lot of experience in the class in general. There's just nothing like real estate to make you rich. I'm just telling you, there's nothing like it. And that turned into a big promotion. This is really not what we're trying to do.
No, it's
fun.
fun.
Look at it.
It's
but
fun though.
That's how it feels.
It is.
You want to share. You want to share. I've got such a fantastic mentorship and such a huge group of smart people now, like Chris and other people. That almost just closed another deal, by the way.
That's awesome.
And
Way to go, Almost.
yeah, we just got it signed. And,
That's great.
Yeah, and that's another tune. It's just like Chris.
And it is fun, whenever you see other students in the class, because it's not like you go out and you make $100,000 every month or anything like that, but you see the people that are putting in the work, and they're following the right steps and strategies, and they've been doing that for a little while, and all of a sudden they get their deal.
Oh yeah.
And then that next person, they get their deal, and it's just it's celebrating with people. It's so fun.
Is. You got a like-minded community and a real smart, intelligent, mature community. Shane, who just got in the class, he's on his third deal. He made about $118,000 roughly, first two properties, and now he's going on to his third property. And there's another $100,000 there.
Awesome.
So it's great, and so thanks again, Chris. Hey, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I do a webinar every Thursday night, or nearly every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central. Go to my site, FlipAnythingUSA.com. Get my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. But take the mentorship survey. I'll take some time and talk to you, and then get in a webinar. But do those things because you don't know what you're missing. You don't know what you're missing. You should at least be exposed to it and see if it's for you or not. And again, it's all free, and I don't care about your money, but I'll give you the best advice I can give you. But you can see the results here, and it's a very cool thing. So,
Right on.
Thanks again, Chris.
Yeah. See you guys.
See you. Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah. To learn how to make millions of dollars in real estate. I've made tens of millions over my lifetime, and I'm showing people how to do it. Get in my free webinar. I have it every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central. Go to the link below, FlipAnythingUSA.com/webinar. Sign up for it. You can talk to me face to face if you want. Don't waste any time. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You don't want to miss my channel. I've been doing it for years.